Today, I wanted to introduce a special guest. I'm really excited. I had the privilege of meeting this gentleman. He came into my office and we sat there and talked. I don't know, we talked for a long time, and it went from a lot of laughter to a few tears to more laughter to just a real confirmation that we were, brothers, and we had a connection that was really, really special, and a vision and a purpose. And this man he's from France. So, but he ended up in the White House. His name is Dr. Antoine Chevalier. He's a functional medicine with a PhD. He doesn't focus on drugs. He focuses on lifestyle and behavior and functional foods and functional behaviors. And he's just got a heart of gold. I know he's been around the White House roughly 18, 19 years. I can tell you why. When you meet him in person, you'll understand why. He's just a gem of a human being and personifies our culture as a human being. And today, folks, I'd love to see you just get those fingers warm and give a nice, beautiful, warm welcome to Mr. Antoine Chevalier. Give him a Euphoria welcome. And I'm going to interview Dr. Antoine Chevalier. Dr. Chevalier, are you there? I'm guessing you're on mute.
Yes.
There he is.
Yes. Hello. How are you?
Good morning. I believe you're live right now from Washington, D.C. Is that true?
That is correct. Washington, D.C. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for making everybody feel better there, because God knows we need it. So thank you for your hard work.
It's very rocky here. It's lots of up and downs, and we work hard in this region, this part of the U.S. And it's a mission. So I love what I do, and it's a special place. I take it very very seriously, and we are getting results. So I'm very happy right now.
Fantastic. Well, I know I'm going to talk a little bit about your purpose and your vision around the veterans, but I want to just start because I know nobody's really gotten to know you, and everybody's been asking about you. Talk about originating in France, but ending up at the White House. How did that happen? That's crazy.
There is, first of all, I don't eat meat, and I don't eat fish. I don't drink alcohol. I don't eat bread. I don't smoke cigarettes, and I don't believe in extramarital affairs. So they actually kicked me out of France. They were like, well, you're not French enough. So that's one way of looking at it. And then there is a spiritual component, to this path that I'm on. I really believe in meditation and, listening to your inner self. And I've done a lot of work. And of all of this work led me to a very specific path. And then this path, I ended up working for the White House Athletic Center, which I've been doing for the last 19 years now. And in that path, I truly embrace and stand for natural living, a natural way of living, restoring integrity among human beings on our way of life, which, should be less destructive, a more integrative way of living. And of course, that includes the nutrition part. And then the nutrition part is a very big element of, it's a very important variable to achieve a real sustainable way of living. And Euphoria, the way I look at it, honestly, is an answer to a prayer. I've done a lot of public speaking for the last 7-9 years now. Well, not 9 years now, a lot of public speaking in Washington, D.C., a lot of public speaking in New York, a lot of public speaking in Florida, Japan, a lot in Japan, Los Angeles, and a lot of it is food. And what you put in your body has an enormous impact, and people don't necessarily appreciate that aspect. And not only, the classical, I would say, basic understanding is, you put something in the body and there is a physical impact or physical consequence, but there is also a mental, emotional, and spiritual consequences when you eat, you know. And the very world famous sentence is, you are what you eat, which is very misunderstood. But every single food that you put in your body carries a certain frequency, and that frequency has a lot of impact on the way you are, the way you think, the way you feel, the way you walk, your behavior, your thinking. I mean, it's much more than what usually people think. And so I would lecture, you know, a lot of lectures, a lot of speaking, a lot of public speaking, education, lots of education on why it is important to buy the $4 organic broccoli and not buy the $1.95, you know, cheeseburger with French fries, and which are not French, by the way. and, and Coca-Cola and all of that stuff. And you have to give that up, even though, I mean, it's so convenient, right? I mean, it's just so convenient and it's so affordable, right? And then it's too complicated. It's too much. You know, people work 2 jobs, you know, a lot of Americans, you know, and the economy is a lot better now, but it's still the rat race. You're still on the wheel, you know. You have to read, educate, and buy the right food, and go to the grocery store, and you have to search which grocery store is better than the other. Some have integrity, some don't. Even though they're advertising organic, doesn't necessarily mean that this is what you think it is. So it's so much, so much. Here in Washington, D.C., we're very familiar with a dark act. I don't know if you remember this. It was Deny American the Right to Know. Dark act. And it was a very big movement here in DC, which of course I was part of it. It's denying Americans the right to know what we have in our food, denying Americans the right to know if it is GMO food or not GMO food. You know, it was a big fight. And, you know, it was wins and losses, but you need to be aware and you need to educate yourself to know if it's GMO or not, because genetically modified organism has impact on your health. So when I do so some of his lectures, I have a 1932 commercial, you know, a picture, and it says, you see this attractive woman laughing with a cow, and you see the dog, and it goes, DDT is good for me.
Wow.
I was like, wow, yeah, 1932, right?
It's like the pharmaceutical ads. I always say, Dr. Chevalier, be careful when the puppies go on screen, because that's when they say all the side effects, you know.
All the little lines.
Yeah, be very careful.
Yeah, you see all those happy people. But
yeah, let me ask.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me ask you a question, because I think you're spot on. When you saw the Euforia and the nutrition, you were telling me yesterday that you're on the product now. What's your experience of that? What's your opinion of the nutrition and using your DNA to just really pinpoint the nutrients that your body needs?
Well, this has been such a struggle for me for so many years to actually give a practical, convenient approach to nutritional issues to my patient, right? On the functional medicine point of view. And it's so complicated, and a lot of people, we don't have the discipline, we don't have the time. And Euforia is the silver bullet. I mean, it's just one shop, you know, and you have everything you need and more, because it's DNA customized, which that to me just blew my mind. And I went to the factory, you know, with Sergio, you know, in Texas, and because I'm a scientist, I have 2 PhDs, so I believe in science tremendously. And I was so in love with the people there and the lab. It's just integrity. And the fact that they customize according to your DNA, you can, and if you don't need to be a scientist, you can imagine the results. You know, the results are tremendous. I'm using the product myself. My wife is using it, and we actually see the results. Even though I do have a clean diet, okay, I'm very educated, I do what's right for my body, I still had groundbreaking results using my Euforia DNA customized pills. And it's awesome. I totally in love with it.
So now I also heard a rumor that you're getting your own Practrition private label done? Is that a true rumor? Everybody's asking.
It's already done. we get the American flag and the White House on the label, baby. This is
wow.
good.
Oh, that's incredible. You need to take a picture of that for the rest of us.
I will.
You know what I love about you, Dr. Chevalier? It's not just your knowledge base and the stand that you've taken for wellness, but more so your passion or compassion that you have towards veterans and your nonprofit vision. Can you briefly share with us kind of an overview of what your vision is there? Because I think people need to hear that, because we're looking to align with the right causes out there as a company, and I think your cause is very worthy.
Thank you. Well, this is really what I have in my heart. I'm a U.S. citizen. I'm a very proud U.S. citizen, and I care deeply about the veterans. I'm from France, and I care about world peace. And we have two world wars, World War I, World War II. It's coming from Europe. Europeans, man. After World War II, the U.S. took world leadership. And since World War II, we have not had a world war. And that's just a fact. 1945, 2020. That's impressive. So in my view, the two guarantors for world peace are the US Constitution and the US military. We do have a crisis right now. A lot of US military veterans in the US are committing suicide. They're killing themselves. So I did a Marine in Las Vegas, like Kevin, and before the video testimonial, the interview before the session, he said he lost 21 of his comrades in Fallujah in Iraq in 2003. And he lost 52 of his comrades in the US because of suicide. So to me, that's unacceptable. It's just beyond unacceptable. I do, that's part of my research. I developed a protocol. It's all functional MRI. And basically what I do is I take a homeless, suicidal veteran that also suffer from PTSD, drug addiction, chronic pain, traumatic brain injury / concussion. It takes me about 8 to 15 hours of treatment, and it's gone, and it does not come back. And we have functional MRI results that prove that what I do increase the neural plasticity and connectivity by more than 70%, which is unheard of. So we are taking those guys and women and men in uniform who are on the streets, and instead of killing themselves, in 8 to 15 hours, they become productive members of society again.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Man. Well, I think that as we kind of grow together in this, Dr. Chevalier, that we'll be able to find a way to kind of get behind your cause. And I know a lot of people are also, I've heard so much in the last year about veteran support, more than I've ever heard in my lifetime, actually. And just really appreciate you, your heart, your family, your stand, and your association with us. Because of you, we're better, Dr. Chevalier. So ladies and gentlemen, give a big thank you to Mr. Antoine Chevalier today, live from DC. Welcome home, Antoine.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
All right. Craig, I'm going to turn the time back over to you, my friend. I'll be back when you're ready.
You got it. Everybody, as you know, hey, Dr. Chevalier, merci bien. Ça, c'était super génial.
Il n'y a pas de quoi, je t'en prie.
Merci beaucoup.
Whoa.
Whoa.